Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another London session. Morning, all. Today is NFP day. NFP day. Some fireworks expected today, but that's later on New York session. So there's a lot of time until that news come up. No, I don't trade. I don't trade NFP. I used to trade it in the beginning, but it's a risky news. We'll see later on. Maybe we'll do a New York session too, and I'll give you some advice what to do. But it's never safe to trade NFP or any news, not just NFP. Now you can see how NSDUSD is flying. We have 40 pips since yesterday. I didn't get stopped at break even. Almost was about to get stopped, but it didn't. Fortunately. Now looks like it's gonna go pretty easy and slow to the next zone here. Now, since we're done with this trade and looks like we had a break and retest here already above this zone, which I said before that once we break this next zone will be very easy to go to. Now, let's take a look at other pairs. Let's take a look at Euro USD. Euro USD. Euro USD, I would say we have to wait for this to break. If you want to take a trade. So nothing much happening right there. Nice Ibiza. Do you move the stop loss of your runner? I move it when I'm on a good profit. I move, let's say now I'm 40 pips in profit. I'm gonna move it to 20 pips. GJ went perfectly yesterday from the New York stream. The retest all the way up gave some nice pips. Very nice. Now on GJ, we can see that we have a zone here, right? Which was our first take profit or our first next zone that GJ could go. Now if price closes above this, we can have a nice trade, but we have to wait for the close. Would you close the trade early if there is no movement for 2-3 hours after the retest? I don't think so. I wouldn't close because sometimes the retest can take more than 1 hour or 2 hours to come, but unless it's coming from another zone, I wouldn't take it, but I wouldn't close it. I mean, but if there's no movement right now, for example, if I take a trade, doesn't mean that it's not gonna move later on, because sometimes volatility is lower, but it comes up later on. You have a trading group course? Yes, I do. Gonna go through all pairs one by one until we find a good setup. One by one. EJ. So for EJ, if you want to take a trade here, you can see clearly the zone we are waiting for. We had resistance here. I had a breakout yesterday, a retest, then all the way down for another reason or so. Now we got another 2 rejections here, which tells us that once we break this, we have a nice range to fill here, and we're gonna wait for that. For now, we're having rejection, which just tells us that we have a good zone here. So gonna wait for a breakout on EJ. We have plenty of setups coming up, but all we need to do is wait for this to break. Take a look at EA. EA did a perfect break and retest yesterday, like we talked about. Now it's back in the range. So if we want to take a trade to the upside, we need to wait for a break of this zone. Now, EA is in between two zones. First of all, this 4-hour support, which was respected yesterday, but then after candles came and it's kind of didn't respect it anymore. But you can see how this zone is respecting. Why? Because this is a daily. This is where the daily candles are closed. And now if we want to take some buys, for example, here, we need to wait for this zone to break. Once we break this, all the way up again, which doesn't really seem that can happen because we've been in this consolidation box for too long now. It's time to move down. But we're gonna wait and see. Whatever happens, we'll be ready. And like I said, this is a daily zone here. If you go on daily, you can see it. See how both daily candles are staying below this, because this is where the daily candles all got rejected, left big wicks, but still closed above this level. Also these wicks on the left too. Now if you want to take a trade, we need to wait for a break on the lower time frames, like 1 hour or 4 hour. Been trading for 4 years now, since 2016. Been pretty long time. Now we're gonna have to wait and see. So for us on EA, no trade for now. USD JPY is currently at resistance. Now, we did say why we are not taking USD JPY. One of the reasons why was because we are at another minor support here. Which price was rejecting, so it's kind of consolidating in between these two ranges. And if we want to take a trade here, we have to wait for this resistance to break out. Once we break this, we can have a nice move to the upside. So for now, for buys only if we break this. Once we break this, then we're good. Or if we want to take sells, we need to break this minor zone here if we want to continue down to the next zone. So only consolidation for now. Nothing much going on UJ, and it's too slow. Since yesterday, this is all the move UJ has done since yesterday. Nothing. These are all 4-hour candles. So you can see what's going on here. What's the giveaway? I said about giveaway, I will decide on the weekend, then we'll see. We'll have to see. I'm gonna decide on the weekend. USD Cad, no breakout yesterday. We got false alarm yesterday, didn't break below. As we said before, we were waiting for this support to break, but lots of rejections. There was no breakout. Price came all the way up. Now I think we were waiting for a daily retest in this zone here, And I said this is gonna be pretty hard to come because it's a big range. All the way from down here, it's almost 100 pip range, and it's almost there. But looks like we have already a rejection. Why? Because we have the zones lower on the 4 hour. So daily retest would be around here, and that would mean another 20 pips. But here's the thing. It's been almost 2 days now. For taking a retest after 2 days, it doesn't sound good, right? Because if you heard me from before, what we want to do is we want to take a break and retest uh, while it's in a good momentum, right? So this coming after 2 days, a lot can happen in 2 days, and all the factors can change, and this can shoot up. So it's not valid anymore, USD CAD, to take the. We can't take this anymore. It's not valid. It's a daily that's coming 2 days later, and in 2 days a lot can happen. USD CHF, nothing actually. Aussie dollar still going up. So what are we gonna do here is we're gonna clean our chart, because we had a lot of lines yesterday from the trade we took. So gonna delete some, clean our chart, and start fresh. New day, fresh start. But it's going exactly how we planned to. So now looks like we might have a good setup here. Break a retest of the zone. Yeah, so gonna have to wait for a break here. Yeah, it looks like a good zone. We are already having lots of rejections. Now, once you break above this, it's going to be a nice move to the upside. Can fill this range pretty quick. It's only 20 pips, and that would be enough for us. I'm on Euro NZD shorts. Okay, let's take a look at this chart first. Then we'll go take a look at Euro NZD. Okay, so the thing here is you took the buys after the third candle. Now, basically I would take the trade here, right? Because that's the first retest. But even on the second candle, first candle didn't give you, let's say, 20 pips. Second candle didn't give you 20 pips. Third candle didn't give you 20 pips. So I guess I would be waiting for this to move to the upside, and I would still be on the trade, even though there would be 3 candles still not pushing up. So I guess this was a nice trade. Well done. Very good trade. Now once we break above this on Aussie dollar, we will have a nice setup here. Also GJ can give us the same. Just gonna have to wait and see. what else do we have? GBPUSD, not much going on. GCAD on the 1 hour doesn't seem too much, so looks like GCAD can be a nice trade if we get a retest on the 4 hour. I think looks pretty good. Yeah, looks very good. We'll see if this comes for a 4 hour retest. Let me see the daily if we're coming for another zone. Yeah, I don't think I would take it. We're at the daily resistance here. If we take this support, it would be very risky. No trade on GCAD. GA, let's take a look at GA. GA is in a small consolidation box. Nothing much. These are the pairs that I would look at, like the least pairs I would look like at, because they are too volatile. Okay, so someone said that it's on Euro NZD shorts. I think you took sells here based on what I see. Why do you think price will usually come for a retest after breakouts? Because that's how a market moves. Breaks a zone, comes to test that broken zone and moves up from a zone to another zone. That's how it works. Aussie dollar already retested on a 15 minutes. I don't look lower than 1 hour, so whatever happened on 15 minutes, I'm not gonna see that because I don't use lower time frames, only 1 hour and up. If the retest happened on the 15 minute on Aussie dollar, then no worries, the 1 hour gonna come too maybe. So we're gonna have to wait. Once we break on the 1 hour, a retest and continuation will be perfect. I think Aussie dollar is not that messy. If you focus only what's happening right now, then I think it's pretty clear. We have resistance formed here. We have plenty of candles rejecting, all closing below. Another one here, another two candles here, all closing below. Now once this candle closes above, a retest and continuation would be perfect. How deep would you consider Aussie dollar retest to be until it's not valid? So if the retest happens and price comes all the way below the breakout candle, that's when it's not valid anymore and it can continue down. So it needs to stay above this zone, needs to stay above this, because once it closes below the breakout candle, that's a sign that this cannot be valid anymore, which means also it's going to be below the support. So we'll have to wait and see how this is going to close. Once it closes, we can make some. So if you look on the left, there's next resistance looks very clear. Go to the 4-hour. You go to the 4-hour, you have the same level. There's no traffic on the left until the next zone. So 1-hour and 4-hour are matching. If you go to the daily, daily is of the same zone as 1-hour, 4-hour. Look at all these daily candles where they're closed, and the next zone looks all the way up where these two daily candles are closed, and you can see how these two daily candles got rejected all the way from up here, which means that's the next zone for us. And if we get a break and retest here, that means also for a daily wick fill. So I think it's gonna be a very good trade. Yes, I use 1-hour and 4-hour most of the time for breakouts and for entries. I wait for the breakout only 1-hour and 4-hour. Can happen also the daily, but since we are scalpers, 1-hour, 4-hour are more used to. So 1-hour and 4-hour, no lower than 1 hour. No 30-minute, no M50, no M5. I only stay on higher time frames. Of course, it requires more patience because we need to wait for hourly candles to close to get our confirmation, but it's worth it. EU doesn't have a setup right now. I took a look earlier, so we'll have to see. Why 1 hour? Because it's way better. It's way safer. It's more comfortable, and it has a way. It doesn't tend to make lots of fake outs. So, lots of you are asking for Aussie Cad. USD CAD. Okay, let's take a look. What's happening on AUD CAD? Okay, looks like I already had the trade ready. Let's clean this chart first, and we can go to this trade. Now, AUD CAD closed above this. closed above this, and looked like this was the break and retest, the best one. Now, if this comes for retest here, we go a bit left on the left, you can see that we have another zone here, which can be a rejection when it comes for retest and can result in a fake out. Now we go higher, we can see another zone here. So what we'll do in this case is we just close this pair and leave it because it doesn't look safe. AUD CHF, let's take a look at this too. Too much consolidation. There's not a clean zone, there's not a clean zone that we can take. Let's say we have to wait for a breakout, then we take the retest. 4 hour looks better if we break above, but it's not a pair that I trust that much. So yeah, 1 hour doesn't really look good. I think if we do base our trade on this zone, looks like this was a fake out. This was a fake out since it got closed above. Then this closed back in the range. This made the retest, went all the way down. Now having a lot another rejections. Maybe we'll see if this candle closes above a retest to continue up. It would be good. We'll have to wait and see. But these pairs are not good to trade, trust me. They'll make a lot of fake outs. I've tried them and it's a lot better to trade major pairs. They are a lot better. Yeah, I think the best setup right now is Aussie dollar. LT. I don't know why you're so worried about this, but this is a good setup. All the time frames are matching with each other. We're having lots of rejections once we break above. Why wouldn't you take this? It looks perfect. Next zone looks pretty easy to fill. If we have also 4 hour breakout, it would be even better. Also, we're going for a wick fill on the daily. Lots of confirmation for us that this can be a very good trade. Also, if the 4 hour closes above, that would be even better. If we want to be very sure to take this. My confirmations are the breakout. The breakout is my confirmation. Once we break a zone, we use candles, right? And the candles will tell you the direction. If the candle is closing above all the previous candles, that means we broke that zone. Then you can take the retest. Now on the retest, it's your choice. If you want to have more confirmations, you can wait for rejections. You can wait for price to reject, but in the meanwhile, while you wait for rejections of that zone, while it's making the retest, you can miss the move because you've seen lots of my trades. Once you make the retest, it goes all the way up on the same candle, so it doesn't let you wait for the candle closes. No, I think you have to wait for the candle to close. Why did you take buys? It's too early. We have to wait for a break. It's not a break yet until we have a candle close above, because this could still reject to the downside. No, it's not a breakout yet. Until the candle closes, there's no trade. So just wait. Yeah, so let's wait and see. Do you have specific pairs looking for an opportunity? These are the special pairs, but of course I have some that I have good experience on them, and they usually give me lots of good setups. It's GJ, EJ, USD CAD, Aussie dollar. Yeah, these pairs. Even though I keep more pairs in my list, but it doesn't mean that I trade all of them most of the time. But my favorite is GJ. Retest on GJ on the 30 minute. No, 30 minutes, not for me. Only 1 hour and up. Only 1 hour and up. No lower than that. Hey Alex. Look guys, this it's only how I trade. If you have another way of trading, then it's good. You can use lower time frames or anything you want. It's just my opinion. I don't use lower time frames. And you can also look at the previous webinars if you want to get an idea what I do here. If it does closes above, then yes, but it's not closing above yet. And even if it does close above, we need a good close. At least 10 pip close, which means all the way up, it needs to push higher and close very good. If we get a close like this, it's not going to be safe to take this. A weak breakout can result in a fake out. So better wait for this. I would say on GJ, taking a trade on GJ, it's going to be risky. And even if it does break on the 1 hour, I don't think I'm going to take it. There's a lot of candles on the left and it can be a 4 hour rejection. So I'll probably gonna skip this. Unless GJ gives me a clean setup, just like it did yesterday here, which happened on New York session. Unless it gives me this clean setup, I wouldn't be comfortable to take it. But this would be a perfect setup. Or this too. So looks like it already happened. If we wait now for the next zone to break, I think would be very risky since the 4 hour is not closed above that yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Even Aussie dollar doesn't seem like it's gonna make a good break. We need at least more than 5 pips breakout. I've been trading for 4 years. See, welcome the new guys, welcome. Do you have a course or a mentoring program? Yes, I do, but we're not going to talk about that here. You can message me for that. Here we're going to share charts, do some analysis, answer some questions. Can you check USD CAD? Yeah, I did check USD CAD and I said that there's no trade for us on USD CAD. I think if you want to think about USD CAD, we can think about a setup here, maybe sells below this. It sells below this to fill this range, but other than that I don't think I'll take anything here. We have a good support formed here. You can see how this closed above, made a retest, went all the way up. Now we're getting rejected and this looks like a pretty strong candle, but I don't think this is gonna break below. Maybe the next candle, because it's only 5 minutes and it's gonna have to do another 20 pip move if we want to break below here. So this is maybe for the next hour. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm still holding NZD/USD. Think I'm gonna hold all the way up here once it fills this range. Then I'm gonna close everything, probably. GU, nothing special. Okay, waiting for Aussie dollar. Now you see there's not much movement right now, so I don't think there's gonna be a good breakout, because the way it looks it's gonna close below and we need at least 5 pip breakout above. Maybe I'll stream New York session too, since we have NFP, but let's stay here for now. You can, the link for my channel, my Telegram channel, is on description, so if you go there, I'll give some updates later on. Yeah, why did you buy GJ? Because GJ is not a breakout yet. Why would you buy at the top? You will become the wick now. What's your swap on New Zealand USD? I don't have swap. I have an account that's swap free. How many lots should I use with 1K account? I think you have to use 0.5 or maximum 1% risk per trade. Not more than that. NZD JPY gonna have a strong close. Okay, let's take a look at NZD JPY. Yeah, I use Pepperstone for now. I don't know why you guys are talking about on NZD because it looks like it's at resistance. So I don't know which zone are you referring to, because unless we break above this, there's no trade here. Because if you're waiting for this zone to break and you're counting this as a breakout, you have to see that you have a big resistance on the left, and you can see how it's rejecting that. So taking the retest here can result in a fake out. Why? Because we are getting rejected from another major zone, and that's what happens most of the time. Are you trading full time? Yes, I am. So NZD JPY, no trade unless we have a clean break above this, a 4-hour breakout. 1 hour doesn't make much sense, to be honest, and it closed below, so there's no trade here. AUD CHF didn't close above. You can see how it got rejected. CAD JPY doesn't seem that has a good setup. Euro CAD, nothing. USD CHF, yeah, no breakout on Aussie dollar too. No breakout. You can see how it closed below, which means still no breakout. Now the thing is, the more it takes to break the zone, it just becomes better, because that means this zone is very strong. And more consolidation, I always say, once the breakout happens out of that consolidation, it's always going to be a big move. GCAD, I told you about GCAD. A GCAD can come for a 4-hour retest. If you go on the 4-hour, can come for a retest, but it's going to be a rejection from the daily. I don't know how safe this is going to be. You can see where it's coming from, right? Lots of rejections at this level. You go on the daily, you can see clearly so many rejections. And when you see price coming from a zone like this, of course you're not gonna feel comfortable taking a 4-hour retest there, because this might result in a big fake out. So for me, I wouldn't take it, to be honest. I would rather wait. Even though it looks very clean, but still I wouldn't be comfortable. Even if you want to take this that much, if you take it, you use very small risk, because the chances of being a fake out are higher than on other setups. Gonna have to wait and see. There's no trade here yet. See how GJ closed. GJ closed above this, but not enough of a good breakout. So I think since GJ is at a 4-hour resistance, what I would wait on GJ is if price would come down, I would wait for something like this. Once price gets rejected from there, a break below this, a retest, and continuation to the next support. I think that's what I would do here. Even though GJ is very bullish at the time, but a break above this is not comfortable for me. We still have some zones on the 4-hour. So I would be comfortable with all these candles on the left to take buys here. I mean, we have to clean the zone. We have to clean the zone if we want to take buys. But for now, I think it would be risky to take any buys here, because you can get rejected anywhere in the zone. You can wait for a break and retest of this support if you want. Euro USD. Now, Euro USD is very messy. Now we have a close above. It's not the best close. Let's see, we have only 2-3 pips above, close above this resistance. And we have a 20 pip range to fill to the upside. Now what can we do here? Let's check the 4-hour. See, when I say it's too messy, you go to the 4-hour, you see all these zones on the left. It's so messy. Even though from up here we have a clean range to fill to the upside, and I don't see why we would reject all the way down, because we already also broke this minor zone here, made a retest and continuation. Now this might be a retest on the 1-hour, but the breakout is too weak. The breakout is very weak. So if I would want to take a trade here, I would use a 3 pip stop loss. Imagine 3 pip stop loss. Okay, so I'm gonna take a buy on Euro USD. I took a buy and I'm gonna use a 3 pip stop loss or 3.5 pip stop loss. Not kidding, it's for real. 3.5 pip stop loss. So like I said, the reason why I took buys on Euro USD. First of all, we don't have the best breakout. It's a very weak breakout. But anyway, since we don't have anything else, we can use a very small risk here. And you can also use, I said risk. We are using a very small stop loss, but you can also use a very small risk too, since the breakout is very weak. And I think this trade, once it goes below the breakout candle, it's going to be not valid anymore. But since we broke this 4-hour minor zone, we retested, came all the way up again, closed above this. I think we should make another push to the upside. The previous 4-hour looks pretty good. It doesn't look bad at all, and we have a clean range to fill to the upside. Yeah, we have 20 pip range to fill, so that's our target, but we can take some at 10 pips and leave some run. So based on this candle that closed above all the previous candles, I took as my confirmation. This is the retest that's happening, and I think it should continue up. Now, the only thing here that can make me doubt is because the breakout candle is not that strong. It's only 3 pips above. It's only 3 pips above, but that's why I'm using this small stop loss here, 3.5 pips. That's what I'm using, just because the breakout is also weak. But there are a lot of times when breakouts are weak and the setup still works, so that's why. And the reason why I put my stop there, because once it goes below that, it's not valid anymore for me. So we'll see how it goes. USD JPY could break resistance. Yeah, we're gonna wait for USD CAD, USD JPY. Sorry, we're gonna wait for it. If it does break, we're gonna be here to take it. But UJ needs to break on the 4-hour. So that's the thing. Now you can see on the left on Euro USD, and you can see how many times price got rejected from the same level. You can see every time price came here, big rejection every time. You can see here on the left, big rejection, then the breakout, the retest, all the way down. Also here, also here, also here. All these, but this setup would be the best if we would have a good breakout. We have a weak breakout, so it's not that I could use a good risk for this trade. So Looks like I'm gonna get stopped. Once it goes below this, I don't expect too much from this trade. The buy entry is here. Let me see my buy entry. Buy entry is at 660. And yeah, it's actually 4 pips stop loss. The reason I'm not using a bigger stop loss here is because it's not needed. Once it goes below this, I don't, most of the time a break and retest happens, and the retest candle comes once it goes below or above the breakout candle. Most of the time it's going to result in a fake out, most of the time. And in this case, once it goes below, I don't think there's too much on it after that. And like I said, the breakout was not strong, only 3-4 pips, not even 4 pips. So that's what makes this higher chances of being a fake out. The stronger is the breakout, the higher are the chances of price to continue up. That is a fact. But if you see EU, all this big bearish candle, it's only 5 pips, so it's not the biggest drop of all time. I survived for another time. My stop loss was at 620, like I said, 4 pips. 660 is my entry, 620, but I don't see much here. We'll have to see. Getting rejected all the way up doesn't seem as an option right now, but anything can happen. So we'll have to wait and see. 620 is my stop loss. EU is known for fake outs. Even though lately it's been good, it has respected some levels, but most of the time tends to make fake outs. So it can't be trusted fully. Yesterday we had a trade on Euro USD, and it was very nice. I think this was the trade, yeah. If you watched the yesterday's stream, we had this move, we cashed this move, 15 pips. This small break and retest here, and it went perfectly, but after that, all the way down. Good thing we secured profits here because it was this resistance that was worrying us. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna close Euro USD. Nothing much here. Gonna wait for this for better confirmation. Now, trade 1. This can still go up, but I decided to close this since it came all the way below the breakout candle, so I don't trust it. Now what we can do here is we can wait for price to come all the way up to reject the zone, and if this candle happens to close bullish, that's when I'm gonna consider taking buys again. But before that, I don't think so. I don't think so. So this is what I did on the same I did yesterday. You see this big candle? I didn't enter on this candle. I waited. So once this closed all the way up, I entered right away here when I saw the rejection. But yesterday there were some other factors. We had Euro news, and we were waiting for the results. The news was good. Price got rejected all the way up, so we had more confirmations. Yeah, I take buys when the candle is bearish while making the retest. EJ, let's take a look at EJ. Just that this can still continue up. This can still continue up, but we need more confirmation. We need price to close above this, maybe, since it came below the previous candle. Maybe closing bullish would be even better. EJ not a break yet. We need to close above this. Once you close above that, we can start to think about buys. But for now, I don't think I'm gonna take anything here. EA, like I said before, 4 hour. Once we break above this, we can start to think about buys. And let's not forget this is a daily resistance too. So once it breaks this, we can expect a very nice move. I think this can be the next zone. Lots of rejections, and the range on EA is pretty big. See, we have 40 pips range to fill once we close above. What do you think about Euro NZD? Let's take a look of Euro NZD. I think we need to wait for a break below this. This 4 hour closed below, but you can see how weak the breakout was. So I didn't take it as a good confirmation. 1 hour did the same, so a break and retest already happened, just that it was very weak breakout. Now about this, maybe a close above and a retest to the upside would be better, but for sells I wouldn't think of, because we already did that break and retest here. It would be the second retest, which is a no for me. I don't take the second retest. If the retest happened already on both time frames, 1 hour and 4 hour. So we'll have to wait and see. GCAD is making the retest. I'm tempted to take buys, but I know that it's risky, so I'm gonna hold myself. Not gonna take it. It looks like a perfect setup, but still can't trust it. It's coming from another zone, and the chance of fakeouts are higher. Better stay away than risk. Aussie dollar rejecting. It's a good thing because more rejections, better trade will be once it breaks. Even though it can take some time, but that's the important thing, to wait for the perfect setup. See, EU is rejecting now. I still think it can go all the way up, but I'm gonna still wait and see what's gonna happen with the scandal. Let's wait and see. See, now it turned bullish. Now it's the time to push to the upside. EU. So what can we do here? Taking another buy. We can try. Okay, it's already moving. Wow, now it's starting to fly. I was about to take a buy but moved so fast, missed the entry. If you stayed on the trade, well done. It went very nice. Yeah, it happens, why not? So yeah, it's gonna feel this rage. There's no doubt about that. Quick 20 pips. 15 pips until now. Wow, this was nice. Anyway, it wasn't meant to be. But it happened just what we expected. Yeah, the thing is, I was trying to catch a good trade here with very small stop loss, because usually I would use at least a 10 pip stop loss. But since this was a weak breakout, I thought, okay, I'm gonna use a small stop loss. And even though I closed before hitting my stop loss, I'm not regretting it because I made a decision and think it wasn't a very, safe setup to say. I could have used a bigger stop loss just in case, but since the breakout was not very strong, I thought, okay, I'm not gonna risk for this. I'm gonna take a small loss. And like I said, I still was for bullish bias, but just didn't want to hold this because I know that Euro USD tends to make lots of fake outs. So I stayed away, closed the trade in a small loss. Thing is, I was about to take another entry, but it moved too fast. I couldn't because once I saw the daily turn bullish, and like I said before, once the daily turns bullish, that's a good sign that's going to continue all the way up. But anyway, I'm not gonna cry about it. It's only the beginning. There are a lot of different setups that can come. Yeah, so new guys, welcome to the channel. I would suggest you to go and watch the previous webinars because you would get a good idea what we do here, so you don't feel lost of what we're doing. So we'll see. We will see. If you are sure of your analysis, why did you not hold the EU trade despite it went down? Because I didn't feel comfortable, like I said. I was sure that it's gonna go up, but I was also not sure if it would go up. The thing is, like I said, like 5 times until now, the breakout candle wasn't the best. So one of my rules is to have a 5 to 10 pip breakout at least above a resistance or below support, depends on the pair, on the setup. Now in this case we only had like 3 pips close above, then it came for a retest and went all the way below the previous breakout candle. And one of the signs that it can happen, a fake out can happen, is when price goes below the previous breakout candle or above. Like I said, depends on the setup. And once I saw that it's pushing below the previous breakout candle, I said, okay, I'm not gonna risk this. I'm just gonna exit while it's a small loss. So it's just the signs that it was giving me. I didn't feel comfortable. So it's nothing to take a small loss before if you don't feel comfortable. Because when I have a good breakout, I wouldn't even think about closing it just because it went like 2 pips below my support. So this whole drop was not even 5 pips drop. So that's why I used the 3-4 pip stop loss. I didn't want to risk more than once it goes below the previous breakout candle. It's just one of my choices. If you would feel comfortable with that, why not hold him? But I didn't because I know from my experience what can happen after that thing happens. After the retest candle goes below the previous below the breakout candle. I know what happens most of the time, so I didn't feel comfortable. It was just a sign for me that I should close. Look guys, I'm not in a rush for a trade. I took like five trades just yesterday, so even if I don't trade at all this week, I'm good still, or the next week, so it's all good. We just have to wait for the perfect break and retest. Cad got rejected. Very nice. See, Cad was a good setup, but I didn't feel comfortable taking it. So if you don't feel comfortable in a trade, uh, I don't want to be in a trade with hope that okay, I hope it's gonna go up. That's not how I trade. I want to be fully I want to be fully comfortable when I take a trade. I want to be secure. If you watch yesterday's streams, I took Aussie dollar buys, and I said lots of time I am fully confident in this trade because I have all the signs. And in this price coming from another zone, I didn't feel comfortable. That's why I didn't take it. It doesn't matter if I miss the trade. It doesn't matter. At, as long as I'm not losing that, I'm good. So, Aussie dollar. I guess it pushed up. Yeah. Look, 1 hour. If this 1 hour closes all the way above, that would be a pretty good confirmation because it made a not a very small drop. Yeah, it's only 5 pips, but coming this all the way from down here, closing above, would be a very good confirmation for us. A breakout closing bullish like this, a small retest to continue up would be perfect. What do you think about EJ? Same, EJ needs to break resistance. Once it does, we have a nice setup in our hands. Form a zone to the next zone. So once we close above, a retest and continuation. This is a very good support resistance. Once it breaks, this acts as a support, so yeah, we'll see. This is gonna be my entry. Stop loss gonna be 20 pips. I'm gonna use 20 pips stop loss just because to leave myself some room to manage the trade. If it does to happen a fake out with a 20 pip stop loss, you can manage better and manage to close at break even. I explained fake outs yesterday, how we can make it profitable or just not to lose a trade. Yeah, so we're having some good setups. Gonna have some good setups, I think. Aussie dollar can give us one. EJ can give us one. And which one? I think we had another one. USD CAD can give us a good one too. Once it breaks below this, we're just gonna have to pick and choose which one we want to take it. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna take Aussie dollar if I have to choose from these other setups. Do you mind if I post my results on EU? Yeah, you can post your result, of course. Daniel, morning. For me, because not everywhere is the morning now. Euro GBP. What's happening on Euro GBP? I've said this before, it's not, I don't trade Euro GBP, but I can give you my opinion on it. Let's see. Now we have support here, or resistance now. We had a break below, a retest happening, but you can see we had 3-4 hour candles still didn't manage to continue down. Now, what can we expect here? Okay, very nice. If you guys made profits on EU, that's very nice. Congrats. Now, let's see. If you want to take sells on Euro GBP, taking it now I don't think would be very safe because first of all, we had so many 4-hour candles and still didn't manage to continue down. Now, the best would be if we get a candle that goes below this, closes bearish. That would be the best confirmation for us to take some sells. Taking sells now, I don't think it's safe. If we go on the 1 hour, still it's rejecting it, but going all the way below this would be a lot better, and would be a lot better confirmation for us to continue down. So we have to wait for a close below here. A small pullback to continue down would be a much better confirmation, and also the 4-hour would mean to turn bearish. I would say that we would have a nice push to the downside. So we'll have to wait. UJ, let's see. UJ on the 4-hour. Yeah, unless we break above on the 4-hour, there's no trade for me here. So we're gonna have to wait. Once we close above this, we can have some nice pips on UJ. Even though it's very slow, it can make us wait for a long time. GU might break. Well, GU. Let me take a look at GU. Which zone are you referring to on GU? I think GU just did the retest. I think this was the GU retest. All the USD pairs somehow did the same thing, making a small drop and pushing all the way up. But I don't know if I would take this GU trade on the retest here, because look at this candle, got rejected all the way down. Don't think I would feel comfortable. Thank you for helping us. You're welcome. My pleasure. It's my pleasure, and I'm glad that I can help you. NSD USD. I was spelling NZD all the way wrong for 2 weeks, and you guys didn't tell me. Okay, so like I said before, the break and retest already happened here. but it was a small one. If we go on the 4 hour, uh, we can see the same. It wasn't the best, the strongest breakout, but still it managed to close above and make a retest. Only closed 5 pips above, but made a retest and continuation. Now I think it's not going to stop until it comes here, sooner or later. Just like I said yesterday, it's going to take some time, but slowly it's going to climb up. Made small consolidation here, but still managed to continue. I'm still holding this, by the way. I'm gonna hold until it comes and fills this range to the upside. Still holding this. Do you use price alerts? Sometimes I do. If I'm waiting for a trade and I know it's gonna take some time, I set alerts so I know when price breaks the zone. But usually I'm in front of charts to catch that, so don't really need alerts. I split my screen in 4 and it doesn't happen to miss a trade, really. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for Aussie dollar. We have less than 15 minutes. Once we close above, we can have a nice setup here. And the good thing is it's not gonna go too far before closing. Let's not mention because it's starting to move fast. So I hope it stays here, doesn't move too much to the upside, because then no retest and we miss the trade. So it needs to close around here, 5 pips above. Once it does, we enter on the retest. Thoughts on AUD GBP? I don't even have that pair in my broker. Is EU doing a retest to head up? Let me see. EU has to break this resistance to continue up. If it does break, then you have a nice range to the upside, no traffic. Once it breaks this, you can wait for a retest to continue up. But I think Aussie dollar is more safe. Looks way better. Let's wait and see. EJ is also gonna do a breakout. Hopefully, if it does break above, then we have a good setup. If not, Aussie dollar. So just waiting another 10 minutes and hopefully we have a trade. Longs will come into play once we close above. And for Aussie dollar, I'm gonna use, let's see how many pips stop loss. Entry should be here. I think 15 pips would be enough. No need for 20. 20 pips would be all the way below this, so there's no need. I think 15 pips would be enough. We could manage the trade easy. So yeah, once we break, the reason why I'm gonna use 15 pip stop loss, because I'm gonna have more room to manage the trade if it decides to come down. So what happens during a fake out is if price closes below back in the range again, most of the time it's going to make a retest to continue down, even if it's a fake out. So once it closes back from the range, it can make a fake out, and if price doesn't hit your stop loss before doing that retest, you can always exit at your entry and you can avoid a loss here. You can even take sells if you want to on the fake out, but it all depends on higher time frames too. So that's why 15 pips stop loss, because I could have used like only 10 pips or 5 pips just below the support, but will give more room for this if it does to happen a fake out. Then we know what to do. Do you trade gold? No, I don't trade gold. I don't trade gold because gold is very difficult. I used to trade it, but not now. It's not what it used to be. Tends to make a lot of fake outs, so I don't trust it. I don't trust gold. Gold makes a lot of fake outs. I can give you lots of examples how gold made fake outs. See, just yesterday broke out of this, the breakout. The retest didn't come to make that perfect retest, went all the way down. Even though the fake out worked after to close back in the range, just like I said. You see, when a fake out happens, it tends to come to make a retest. But in this case, it moved down a bit. So I don't know if it would let you to close at break even. But you can see how it made a retest to continue down. Now you see we broke out of this consolidation. There was no retest, and when price dropped, this we could say that it's going to be a retest. It resulted in a fake out. Here we got a breakout. It resulted in a fake out. Price came all the way up. Lots of fake out on gold. See here we broke below, very big bearish close, came for a retest, went all the way up, didn't respect it. So I wouldn't suggest to you to trade gold at all. It's too risky. You have plenty of other pairs that are more safe than gold. Alex Bonu. Okay, let me see what's in this chart of yours. The setup looks good. It looks good, just that like I said, if this would be in another pair, would be perfect, but in this pair I wouldn't trust it, because look at all these wicks. It doesn't really suit me. And you're trading on a 30-minute, and like I said before, I only trade on 1 hour and higher than that, 1 hour, 4 hour daily, no lower than 1 hour. Wouldn't touch gold for now. Okay, 5 minutes left. Aussie dollar is pushing, very nice. Gonna have a good trade here. Let's wait and see. USD CAD dropping. Good. Looks good too. On the retest, we can take USD CAD too. But from all these setups, I think I'm gonna take Aussie dollar. It's becoming my favorite pair lately. I don't trade US 30. I don't trade US 30 because I've said a lot of time that you need a lot of information about fundamentals if you want to trade US 30, because it just doesn't move only on technicals. So you have to be careful when you trade US 30. Yeah, to be honest, the Aussie dollar has been the best lately. I've taken a lot of trades on it and it's always going very nice. See, it's not gonna be a strong breakout, so even though it still can play out, I'm gonna choose Aussie dollar, and you can choose also USD CAD. It's also a great setup. For me, Aussie dollar is gonna be the best. So let's wait. 1 minute left. We need a retest and continuation. This is gonna be a good trade. Okay, perfect. We have a breakout. Now we're not waiting for a breakout because the breakout happened. We're waiting for a retest. Come on. Gonna enter in a 5 pip range from where candles are closed, if we have a 5 pip range. Now 5 pips range is all the way up here, so it needs to come lower in a 3 pips range. Once come for a retest, and we're in. No, I'm not in the trade. Like I said, I'm still waiting for pullback here, a retest to continue up. Yeah, retest on the hourly. You can wait for confirmations, more confirmation, but this is how I trade. Just to be clear. I just hope it doesn't push before making the retest. That's important. So we need that retest before making the move. It needs to come at least 2-3 pips to make it drop, because entering here is too early. What's your win-loss ratio? I can say have a win rate of more than 80%, if that's enough for you. If you go check all my webinars that I did, you can count the win rate. And I don't think I took more than 2 or 3 losses in 2 weeks. And I took, I don't even know, at least 2 wins every session. So that means more than 10 or 15 trades. Yeah, let's see. Once this comes lower, we're gonna enter. But here it's too high. It's too early. We need a deeper retest. Can't end up with an entry at the top of the candle. See, now it's coming. Now we are in a 4 pips range, 3-4 pips range, 3 pips range. Now you can enter half here, and you can enter half when it comes lower, which already did. So I'm entering first entry here. If it comes lower, I'm gonna enter another position. So I'm gonna leave some room if it comes lower to enter some more. First entry. If it comes lower, I'm gonna enter another one. Said this like 3 times. So now I'm expecting a question, did you enter? Okay, so this is my last entry for Aussie dollar. Now from here, gonna have a 15 pip stop loss, and I'm gonna have to wait and see what happens. Big drop coming. Did you buy or sell? See, the question was coming. Buys, obviously, if you look at this thing in front of you, buys on Aussie dollar. Price now should continue up after the retest. We need 10-20 pips at least. The retest, so as long as it stays above, we are good to go. The breakout is pretty good, strong breakout. Retest happening. First of all, I think should at least make a new high here. After that, another 5-10 pips. Yes, let's take a look. Now we have to be patient. I'm on AUD USD buys. I think if you're new here or if you don't know the basics still, you need to go and at least know basics, because you're not gonna know what we're talking about here. Because I see some questions, how to enter a buy, how to put a stop loss. These are things that you need to know way before coming here, so you don't end up with a loss that you're not even gonna know why you took it. So better would be to go and do some research on Google. You have a lot of things to learn, some basic things. What's your TP? TP is gonna be 10-20 pips at least. At least 10 pips. Need to wait for retest candle to close? No, not for me. I don't need the retest candle to close, but if you want to wait for the candles to close, you can, if you want more confirmation. If you want more confirmation, you can wait for candles to close. But the thing is, most of the time when the retest happens, this current candle can go all the way bullish, just like it happened with Euro USD. So it's not that you get the choice to wait for candles to close. EJ is doing a perfect break and retest too. It can go up, but now since I'm Aussie dollar, I'm not gonna take 2 trades at a time because that's not in my trading plan. So if you guys want to take EJ, it's a good setup. It's a good break and retest. I am on Aussie dollar for now. Yeah, also USD CAD is making a retest. Where is USD CAD? Yeah, it can come a bit higher than that maybe, but even this would work out. I think it's only 2-3 pips away, so we're gonna have to wait and see. USD CAD EJ, it's a good one, and yeah, just gonna have patience now, wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see. How do you have the patience to repeat the same things? Well, I guess that's one of my specialties. I have a lot of patience. And I always had. I guess that helped me a lot in trading because you can see how long I wait for a good setup, so it makes sense, right? Come on, Aussie dollar. Another push to the upside, and we are good to go. Once it turns bullish, should fill this wick at least. We said about this before. It can be also daily wick fill, so another reason for our price should go up. Why not? Okay, I was on mute. I was talking but forgot that I muted the mic for a bit. Yeah, I said EJ has a good setup. I said you can wait for 4 hour to close to above if you want to feel more comfortable taking this. But I said in the past this level was very good respected, so it can do the same now. And I said I'm not taking it because I'm on Aussie dollar for now. So we are waiting for this. Let's see. We need at least 10 pips from Aussie dollar. At least 10 pips, so it should push at least around here. Then fill this daily wick. Think there's very good potential to do that. Has a great potential. Gold. We talked about gold earlier and I said don't trade gold. Gold is too hard to trade. It's too difficult. And you also need a good account because this small account, gold eats for lunch this small account. This is TradingView. You can see here tradingview.com. If you guys have any charts to review, feel free to send them. What's your account size? That doesn't have that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what account size I have. Like I told you, I don't trade gold. Gold is not the same it used to be because I used to trade gold a lot in the past, but it just since the coronavirus started, it hasn't been the same. First the spread went too high, then started to make some moves that were not normal, leaving big wicks, lots of different things. Pretty slow. We need more volatility now. We need more volatility. Sometimes I'm thinking that it freezed because it didn't move at all for 2-3 minutes. Yeah, yeah, true. Spreads changed. Lots of things change on gold. I used to trade it too because I used to flip accounts with gold because gold moves very fast. It can give you some good setups. But like I said, once the virus came, it's all went bad for gold. So many people blew their accounts. So let's see. Setting up for NFP, I guess so. I guess we're not gonna have big moves on USD until the NFP, so can you publish your chart on TradingView? I think it's not necessarily because I post my charts on Instagram, so it's the same, I think. Steve Williams, I said you have to watch the previous webinars if you want to learn more about what we do, how we trade. Even though I explained most of it in this webinar too. Will you be here for NFP today? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a New York session. Who knows? We'll have to see. We'll see if you guys will be on New York session too, then I'll do it. If you guys will be there, why not? We'll watch how NFP will make some fireworks. Where are you from? I'm from Kosovo. How long have you been trading? 4 years, since 2016. Yeah, we'll see. If I if something unexpected doesn't come, then I'll be here for New York session too. Do you trade FTSE 100? No, I don't. I don't understand why you guys trade these kind of pairs or indexes, because they're not easy. You need a lot of information. You need a lot of fundamental background. It's not easy. Just trade these easy pairs you have here every day. They do the same thing every single day. How's your profit and losses generally in these 4 years? Lots of profits, very small losses. Let's see. EJ, perfectly. It rejected, very nice, very nice. So my friends, we have USD CAD here, a break in the retest, and now I think it's gonna continue down. Thank you all. Have a wonderful drop USD CAD. See you, because we're gonna change to Australian dollar and US dollar. So we need another 5 pip push to the upside. We already have like 5 pips. Yeah, we have 6 pips, another 4 pips, and We can move our stop at break even. Okay, very nice push. Let's go another 4 pips. Very nice music. Well, I don't listen to the music, guys. I've been just playing this for you guys. Some jazz music, but for me, I don't really listen to music. Yes, Steve, my previous webinars will show you everything you need. Just yesterday, we took like 6 trades. 6 trades were all broken down with live analysis, stop loss, take profit, where to cut your profits short or losses short, everything you need to know. Just yesterday, but let's not forget all the previous webinars too. Aus Trade, thank you for your like. Did you see the USD fake out? I saw USD CAD breakout. This was a break below, a retest, just like we expected. Very nice. Like I said before, we have 3 setups and all 3 went perfectly. USD CAD, good sells. Euro JPY, good buys. Aussie dollar, good buys. All went perfect. So I think what I'm going to do now, we had 6 pips push on Aussie dollar. I think I'm going to move my stop at break even. And I'm going to leave this run. Maverick, I've got lots of capital to invest, but I'm only trading with 1K to be disciplined on the next 6 months before putting in some extra money. Do you think I'm on the right track? I think you are. I think you are in a good track. If you follow what I do here every day, I think you're going to find consistency and you're going to be a lot better in 6 months. Finance, very nice. Congrats on your wins. I think the hardest part of your system is to correctly identify the zone. I think that's not for me. It's not the hardest thing for me. I think the hardest thing for others is to identify zones, because a small mistake on drawing zones can lead to a bigger drawdown than expected. So you have to be careful how you draw zones. Any target for AUDUSD in next 10 days? Next 10 days, I think we should focus on what can happen today, because in 10 days everything can happen, lots of things. I've taken all 3 trades you mentioned and taking 50% profit on Aussie dollar. Thank you. My first day with you. I'm very glad, happy for you. That's great. I didn't take any profit on Aussie dollar. I think if it does push one more time at 7 pips, I'll take some. But I think there's no reason to take profits earlier than than now, earlier than at least 10 pips, but I think it might consolidate a bit before pushing. And like I said, we have NFP. I'm not gonna expect big moves until NFP. Not gonna expect big moves before NFP. We all know how market is before NFP. It just consolidates until time comes and starts to move a lot after the news. So I just moved my stop at break even because I think it already made 10 pips move, and if it does come all the way back down again, I wouldn't feel comfortable holding it again. And it's been half an hour gone, and coming all the way down again, it wouldn't be a good sign for it. How many positions do you open on average on each trade? Positions doesn't matter. The risk matters. I just split my risk in 10 positions, let's say. That's just how I like to trade. Open a lot of positions. How long do you plan to keep doing live trading? We'll have to see. Maybe in a couple of days I'm gonna have to take a break for vacations, but I think I'm gonna continue for the rest of the year. Hopefully, if I'm good. Yeah, if you risk 1%, then you split that 1% in 10 positions, so you just can manage your position better. Let's say you get 10 pips, you close 5 positions, you leave 5. You get another 10%, another 10 pips, you close another 3-4 positions, you leave 1 run. So I think the streams have been very successful, and I think I'll continue to do them as long as there are people out there that I can help. Why not? But soon, you guys, you're gonna be profitable and consistent. So you're not gonna come here anymore once you do that. Okay, Aussie dollar is pushing. Let's go. Another small push, another 3 pips. We get 10, we secure some, and we leave some around for another 10 pips. This channel is gonna grow massively if you keep up with the stream. Of course, I'm gonna keep up. The growth is already massively growing. I mean, the channel. I mean, it's been only 2 weeks, and the growth is crazy. Okay, we have 10 pips on Aussie dollar. 10 pips. I'm gonna secure some here. This was a very nice trade. Very, very clean. So this is a classic break and retest, guys. This is a classic break and retest. This is the best setup you can find in terms of a break and retest of my style. Yeah, secure some at 10 pips, stops at break even. You can secure 50% of 8 or 80%, it's up to you. And we'll leave some more to run because this can still go and fill this daily wick here. This daily wick can be filled very easily. I think it's gonna take some time, but still can continue up. The only thing we don't want is coming all the way down again, which would close our runners at break even. So we'll have to wait and see. Do you mind to share the function of magic keys on your screen? I think I'm gonna do a review about magic keys, and I'm gonna show you exactly how it works. It's a great tool. Mine is coming soon, so we'll do a review once I get it. I think it's gonna be a game changer because it helps me a lot to manage because I enter a lot of positions, and it's like having that tool on the simulator that we use. Yeah, it's true, it's boring to trade alone. That's why I started streams. Well, actually, I was trading with my students, but I wanted more engagement. You gave us some brilliant commentary on free setups. Why did you take them all? Because I only I only enter one trade at a time. I don't take three trades at a time because that would be over trading. I take one trade, done with it, I move to the next one. So is Aussie dollar better than GJ for this style of trading? I can't say it's better. It's better sometimes when GJ is messy. Aussie dollar can be better, but it just matter. It just depends on different days, different setups, different charts. I closed 80%. Thank you. Thank you too. Congrats. Can you do a review of your course? I think it wouldn't be appropriate to do a review of my course. I think if you want more information, you can text me on Instagram maybe. SadFX1 is my Insta. Because here we only talk about charts, analysis, trading, these things. Yeah, David, you have a lot of catching up to do. You have a lot of previous streams you have to watch. It's for your own good. Let's see. Not gonna expect Aussie dollar to move a lot. Like I said before, we have NFP. It's gonna be a slow day until then. But at least we catch 10 pips, quick pips, so it's all good. EJ went perfectly. How many pips? 13 pips, very nice. Clean break and retest too. USD CAD went perfect too. How many pips? 11 pips, clean break and retest. It can still continue down, but we shouldn't expect too much from USD pairs right now. Just gonna wait and see. At least I think Aussie dollar can make a move of 15 pips, 16, maybe 20. It's not a lot, just another 5 pips. Another 5 pips would be perfect. Like I said, guys, if you have any question about my group, my private group, just you can text me. We're not gonna talk about that here on the stream. Yeah, now you guys just have to chill and wait. It's nothing to worry about now. I'm gonna do New York session 2 today since we have NFP, why not? See, we need another push from Aussie dollar at least before. Would you trade after NFP? I don't know, maybe if I get a good setup, why not? If technicals match with NFP results, then yeah, we can. We'll have to wait to see. Now guys, if these pairs come to make another retest, you stay away because already the first retest was done. So we'll have to wait and see. If you trade NFP, mind if I record it for my IG story? Yeah, why not? You guys can tag me on Instagram or whenever you like. Why not? Invite friends so we can win all together. There's enough money for everyone. That's what's great about this thing here, this business. You don't have to compete with each other. There's enough for everyone. I was on mute and I was talking. I'm forgetting about that sometimes. Okay, just gonna repeat this again. How far you identify support and resistance? I said the best is to focus on what's happening recently at the moment, but if current zones match with previous zones would be the best. You're in EU from 6. Yeah, you'll have 25 pips right now, almost 40 pips if you're on EU from here. And I said for a simulator session it's gonna be only for my students, so unfortunately maybe on the future I'll do for YouTube one too. You have one on my channel. It was pretty good session. How about Euro GBP? I explained Euro GBP earlier, but yeah, we can take a look at it. Why not? Let's see. Euro GBP. If we want to take a trade on Euro GBP, we need a close above this, a 4-hour close. That would be the best. Once the 4-hour close is above, then we can wait for a retest and continuation. We have the next zone up here, which is pretty big. 40 pips, 50 pips. It's very nice. But I've said before, I don't trade Euro GBP. I don't have good experience with it because it tends to make a lot of fake outs. So I just avoid it. Wow, EJ went perfectly. It was a nice trade. What can I call it? What can you call who? What? I don't understand this question. Yeah, just waiting. I think the next trade should be no trade because we have to wait until NFP maybe. I'm just holding this Aussie dollar for another 10 pips, but except for that I don't see a trade. I don't see a trade. Maybe if Euro New Zealand comes all the way up and closes back in the ranges, a retest and continuation to the upside maybe would be good. But for now I think no trade. So we'll have to see. Okay, you made profit on Aussie dollar. That's nice. Very nice. Congrats. Congrats. So I said that we need a break above this if you want to take a trade here. I think it would be pretty nice if it doesn't continue down, but if it decides to close above that would be perfect. What GBP pairs you trade on? GJ, GU most of the time. Other GBP pairs are more volatile and most of the time requires more than 20 pip stop loss, which isn't for me because I only use the maximum stop loss I use is 20 pips. But they tend to make some big wicks on the retests and it's more risky to trade them. Let's take a look. UJ is not gonna close above, maybe we're gonna have a close below. Thank you for helping us. Thank you too for being here. Because if you guys wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be motivated to do these streams. Now we have a close. UJ didn't break below. Still in this range here. It has created a small consolidation box, and I think it's gonna be like this until NFP. Aussie dollar, good close. Got rejected, close bullish. Maybe this candle now is gonna push higher. Gonna have to wait and see. It's taking some time. GCAD breaking out. Okay, GCAD. Wow, what a close on GCAD. Very strong. Take a look at 4 hour. 4 hour closed very bullish. Yes, I'm still on Aussie dollar. I have some running, but if you were earlier here, we closed some at 10 pips. We secured some profits at 10 pips, and we are holding some. I think GCAD is at resistance, so I'm not going to take anything on GCAD. Still not a clean setup. GBP/USD is at resistance. Same on GBP/USD. GJ is at resistance. All GB pairs are at resistance right now. I think there's nothing on. Wow, this was good setup. This one, the one we were waiting for before, and since this candle didn't close above, this closed made a retest continuation. Anyway, we missed this, but there was a lot of other trade that we cashed, so it's still good. Do you think Euro USD is gonna reject 1.1300? Let me see. USD, Euro USD. I don't know what Euro USD is gonna do because we have NFP. But if it wasn't NFP, I think I would take the retest of this zone here. I think on the retest of this, I would enter to ride this all the way up. We'll have to see. Maybe NFP is gonna push this all the way up. We're gonna have to see later on. No, I wouldn't buy GCAD. It's at resistance, 4-hour resistance. Yeah, we'll see. Euro USD can be good, but the moves before NFP can be weird, so be careful. I'm gonna stay away until NFP, unless a different pair approaches. See, USD CAD is coming again. Let's take a look at the 4-hour because we have 4-hour close now. 4-hour is not the best, maybe, because we have support here on the 4-hour. 1 hour, it's still below, but I wouldn't do anything on USD CAD here. Still nothing. Stay away from USD pairs. There's time until NFP. Let's see these GBP pairs, what's happening on them. Looks like GA closed above, but very small breakout. Very small breakout above this consolidation box. I think GA can continue up, but since we have a small breakout here, let me see how many pips we can use. Stop loss 20 pips. See now, yeah, my target is 20 pips most of the time, but late these days we're not having much movement. Yesterday we had a good 20 pip movement, 30 pip movement. Today less than that. We have NFP, so that's why I didn't expect more than that. Now, I was talking about GA. GA has a lot of rejections, a lot of zones, candles. I think it's pretty messy, to be honest. I wouldn't take anything. Maybe I'd take some buys, but it's not the safest trade here. So we'll have to wait and see. I would like buys. Thing is, we have this support here, and why I'm not including these 2 wicks, because this looks like a fake out. It closed above, couldn't continue. The bearish candle closed back in the range, as you can see, made a fake out and went all the way down. Now this candle here, this bullish candle, closed above these previous candles, and I think this should be the retest to continue up. That's what I think. But like I said, GA is a bit risky to trade. It's a bit volatile. Yes, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a buy on GA, but I'm only gonna risk small percentage of my profits. Only small percentage of my profits. Stop loss. I'm gonna use a stop loss of how many pips? Let's see. 15 pips. I'm gonna use 15 pip stop loss. 15 pips. Yeah, so on GA buys here. Monty giving me a shoot out. Okay, lots of guys coming up from Monty stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks a lot, Monty. Trade with Monty is a great man, great human being, great guy. He does live streams too. And he's a very nice guy. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Welcome guys, welcome. A great thanks to Monty. Sending a lot of people. Yeah, so let's see. I'll thank Monty by myself. Yeah, we're on a group on WhatsApp. We talk. He's a great guy. Okay, so get back to the chart. So the reason I said before, the reason I entered buys here on GBP AUD is because this candle here closed above all these previous candles, and I think this is the retest, should continue up. Now I said that this was just a fake out because you can see it closed above This candle closed, this bearish candle closed back in the range, made a retest here and went all the way down. Now this candle came and closed above, made a retest, and I think it should continue up. Also the 4-hour is a break and retest, so we have a double confirmation for this to continue up. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so let's wait and see. It's going very nice. I think we're gonna cash at least 10 pips pretty easy here. We're already 7 pips in profit. Another 3-4 pips. We cash 10 pips. We can move our stop at break even and leave some run. Like I said, GA is very volatile, so quick pips can be cashed on GA. 10-20 pips, it's almost nothing for GA here. Like I said, it's gonna be a small risk, just a small risk of our profit that were made on Aussie dollar. So no need to risk your profits. J, yeah, I said that before. Most of the time 20 pips is my target, but if there's signs that price can reject earlier than 20 pips, then we consider taking profits earlier than 20 pips, like 10-15 pips. That's it. Welcome, you guys, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Nice to have you in my stream. Okay, we'll see. Gonna do a New York session 2 here later on for NFP guys, so don't forget to come. We'll see some fireworks on New York session. Say hello to Monty. Thanks a lot. I'll thank him by myself, so no need to worry. On EURUSD, not gonna take the retest because of NFP. I'll wait for it. Aussie dollar, it's going still good, still in this range, not much happening. EURUSD, if there was an NFP today, I might take it, but it's getting closer to NFP. So the closer it gets, the weird moves we can have. To wait and see. Another 2-3 pips and securing some profits on GA. 10 pips. Today I'm only taking small take profits. It's NFP day, I don't expect too much. Okay, we have 10 pips on GA. What time you're gonna be here on New York session? I think in 1 hour and a half, since I'm gonna have to end this London session here. We had some great trades. Moving my stop at break even for GA. Stops at break even, secure 10 pips and leave it run whenever it goes. Very nice trade. Why do you prefer trading the 1 hour over doing short-term trades on 15-30 minutes? Yeah, I prefer trading uh, only 1 hour and 4 hour, so higher time frames, because I found more consistency on it. I found a lot more consistency and less fake outs, so that's what made me decide to only trade higher time frames and not use lower time frames, because I used to trade also 15-30 minute, but it was a lot more complicated because you can see different things on different time frames. So most of the time, uh, 1 hour and 4 hour match with each other, and it gives me a lot more comfort when taking a trade. Okay, GA is going very nice. Very nice. I think can push a lot more. Can push a lot more. Let's see. Like I said, GA is very volatile. It can give you a lot of pips in a short amount of time. So I'm gonna wait for another. How many pips we have? We have 13, 14 pips. Another 5 pips at 20 pips will be perfect. Stop loss at break even. Always protect your profits. So this was a fake out. That's the reason why I took my trade based on this support here. That's the reason. It was a small consolidation box here. I will go through your videos on the stream next few days. Thank you. Thank you too. Welcome all the new guys. Very happy to have you here. I hope you find some good information that can help your trading journey. Okay guys, so and yes, I use trailing stop for running profits. I do use that. So once this goes another 10 pips, I can move my stop at 10. Once it reaches 20 pips, I can move my stop at 10 pips. If it pushes more, I can move my stop too. So will you put pending order once you know there is a breakout, or you will watch how the retest movements? I think you can choose if you want to use pendings or if you want to take it manually. So for me, I don't use pendings because most of the time I'm in front of the charts, so I see whatever is happening, and I can see the movement. I can look if there's any news or any unexpected news, so I can manage my trade better. Hello from Australia. Can you explain what is this NFP? NFP. So we will talk about NFP on New York session. Non-farm payroll. So you can read about NFP, the non-farm payroll released by US, etc., presents the number of new jobs created during this previous month. So this news has high effect on USD, and most of the time when it comes, somehow it decides the movement that USD is going to do for the next month, maybe until the next news or report comes on the next one. So it happens every month on a Friday. On a Friday, actually it's not Friday today, but comes at the end of the month. And we'll talk more about it on New York session. Thank you a lot. Lots of trades were called today. We made some good pips. We took 3 trades, also called EJ and USD CAD, which we couldn't enter all of them. They happened to be at the same hourly. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Welcome new subscribers, and we'll see you on New York session. Yeah, we did lots of webinars with Raja and Ted, some simulator sessions, all live sessions, lots of things. Thank you all guys. Thank you for participating. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in New York session too. In 1 hour, let's say. I think in 1 hour, yeah, I'll start the stream in 1 hour. 1.5 hours, let's see. You can follow me on Instagram, and I'll give you updates there when I'll start the stream. Thank you all. Have a nice day. We'll see you on your session. See you guys.